Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So after my first wearable versus editorial makeup look with the berry toes, I did actually have a couple of requests for future versions of those, and one of them was kind of a pink toned like Valentine's type wearable versus editorial look. So that's what I've chosen for this video. It's not going to be as dramatic as the last one because it's going to be quite pinks and quite light and fresh. I actually think this first set, the wearable look, is going to be slightly more intense than the editorial look. I've decided the editorial look I'm going to do for the glossy eyes, glossy skin, glossy lips kind of look. So it's going to be quite minimal makeup for the editorial, but very glossy, inspired fashion wise. But this first look is going to be a bit more. I think I might do a halo eye look because they're one of my favourites. So if you're interested, then please keep on watching. Okay, so I'm going to start with my face first. I've been doing this a lot recently. I used to do my eyes first always, but now it seems to have swapped. So I'm going to start with the Ordinary Serum foundation. So it's the lightweight. I've got the full coverage one and this one. And this actually does give pretty decent coverage, but it's much more of a liquidy consistency. So I'm in the shade 1.1N, so it's the Fair Neutral. So I'm just going to take a little bit. You'll see just how runny this is. So it's going to be spread over the skin nicely. I'm going to take on my iconic brush as I always do. But it still gives, even though it's more a serum and it says it's more lightweight, it still gives pretty decent coverage on the skin. And actually I think this first look is going to have more coverage than the second look. The second look is very kind of minimal in comparison to this look, because not all editorial looks have to be really bold and stuff. Okay, so for concealer, obviously my Hynt Beauty concealer, as always. So pop this under my eyes and obviously on all the blemishes that I have. And then what I'm actually going to do is take a sponge to blend that out. Set those areas in place, and I was always taking my Inika Baked Foundation in the shade Grace. Bronze up my skin using the Lolo Miami Beach bronzer. I'm now officially out of my 100% Pure bronzer. I can't actually get any more out of it, so once I'm off my no-buy for the month, I'll probably need to pick up another one for sure. That's a perfect bronzer, especially when it gets more to summer, because it does have a slight sheen to it, so it just makes the summer skin look really, really pretty. This one's obviously more of a matte bronzer, or is a matte bronzer, not more of. For blusher, my Nip and Fab palette using this, I'll use this more pinky, this one here, the pinky shade, which I think is called Cocktail. I'm just going to pat this on, or stipple this onto my cheeks. Now for highlighter, I'm going to take the Hollywood Flawless Filter in Fair 1. And I know I've already powdered stuff here, but this I think you can definitely use over the top of powders. If you use more of a dabbing motions as opposed to swiping, you should be absolutely fine. I'm popping this in my usual areas I like to highlight. It's kind of like a CC cream mixed in with an illuminator type thing, so it has a little bit of coverage. And actually I think for the editorial look, I'm just going to use it all over the skin. It's like my base. But yeah, if you just dab it in instead of swiping, it won't disrupt the powders you've got underneath. I mean, I didn't set that portion on my face, but obviously I did put like powder bronzer, powder blusher there. But it works absolutely fine. So now I can start the eyes. I'm actually going to go with brows first and take my Lolo brow gel, fill them in how I would normally. And I was going to lightly go through them with my Gosh Brow Sculpting Fibre Gel in Chestnut. Prep and Prime with my Lolo eye primer. Okay, so the palette of choice is the MUA Fire Vixen palette. I've used this a few times, it's really pretty, and like I said, I want to kind of do a halo eye look, I think. So I'm taking this shade right here from the palette to begin with. Start popping this into the crease. And I'm going to swipe back and forth. And I am going to wing this out. I've been trying not to wing out eyeshadows at the moment, but for this look, I am going to wing it out. Then I'm going to go into this kind of more brown neutral tone shade here, and again this is going to go into the crease area. I'm not going to take it quite high because I put that first one, but just blend it into each other. Now I'm going to go in with this pink shade down here on a slightly smaller brush, and again this is going to just go into the crease just to add a mixture of colours. I'm on a slightly smaller brush now, and then this shade is also going to go onto the outer and inner portion of the lid as well. So we're going to start creating that halo look. I'm just going to take a fluffier brush and just make sure everything is actually nice and blended. I think I might even go in with the really pop of pink here on the inner and outer portions as well. So I'm just going to take a flat brush like this. This is one I believe I got from Superdrug. That's why I tend to get most of these little flat brushes, because they're quite cheap and also really inexpensive as well. Packing this right onto the outer and inner portions. I'm going to take a brush and I'm going to take this shade first, I think. And just run this along the lash line. Take my concealer brush, just make sure everything's a bit tidy. Okay. I'm going to pop some of the primer back into the middle portion of my lid. It's just taking a small flat brush. Just going to help emphasise the halo effect. So I'm actually going to use that same brush, and I'm going to pick up this shimmer shade down here because I want it to be, I don't want a pink one, the rest are quite pink. I want to actually keep this a little bit not so. I'm just going to pack this into the inner portion. And I will blend out the edges in a second. So make that pinky toned shimmer shade, just so it kind of slightly blends into the rest. So that middle shade, that shimmer shade we use right in the middle of the halo, just a tinsy bit in the middle there. Cool. For mascara, I'm using the Gosh Rubble Eyes mascara. I'm going to give my upper and lower lashes a good couple of coats. Again, to finish off his lips, so I'm going to take this sample of this ZAO Matte Lipstick in 469, which is on the wrong side. Just like a pinky toned lipstick. I think this actually turns out to be kind of, if I remember correctly, last time I used it, it's more like my lips but a better colour. I mean, it might have been masked a little bit by foundation at the moment, but... Okay, so this is the wearable makeup look complete. Like I said, I think this is actually slightly bolder than the editorial look. But I just really want to do a halo eye for this one. So even though this is bolder, it's still something that is very wearable. I'd wear throughout the day, going out and stuff like that. And yeah, I really like how the halo eyes actually turned out for this. And it's a really nice palette and very inexpensive, that one as well, which is why it's a great one you can get from the drugstore. Okay, so this is the wearable version of this look. Now onto the editorial pink, it's kind of Valentine. Okay, so onto the editorial portion of this Valentine's makeup look. So I'm going to start off with the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter and just pop this kind of all over my skin. I'm going to go very fresh with the skin again. Very dewy, glossy eyes, glossy lips kind of feel. There's going to be a little bit of coverage but also a nice glow to the skin, which I love. I'm not really setting my skin at all today because obviously it's an editorial look. I don't need it to necessarily last for long, so just to keep that dewy finish, I'm not going to be setting my face at all. Okay, then just to cover any bits I need to cover, I'm going to go with the Hynt Beauty concealer. To take it on my Real Techniques brush, concealer brush as always. And yeah, just in those areas where I do need it. So just under the eyes and any blemishes. Across the lids, because I'm not going to use primer today because I'm doing glossy eyes, so there's no real need for it. I'm just going to put a little bit of this just to blank out the lids ever so slightly. Okay, then I'm going to go with the Kiko Radiant Touch Creamy Stick Highlighter. I have mine in 101, which is more of a pink toned highlighter, and I'm kind of going to use it as like a blush and highlighter in one. Just to give it nice, because you can see it is quite pink, but it has that shine to it. And so it's going to fit in perfectly with the look I'm going for, and then using the same brush I used for the Charlotte Tilbury product just to buff that in. So I'm going to move on to eyebrows. I'm not going to add too much to the brows. I'm actually going to take my Verde Brow Gel but dip it into the RMS Beauty Luminizer Quad. So I just want a bit of that kind of glowy texture, wet texture through the brows. So almost like the soap brows technique, which I should have used soap actually, but... And just... So I'm just going to use my fingers just to further push the brows up and get rid of some of that pigment in the brows. Okay, so moving on to the eye portion, I'm actually going to take a blusher onto the lids. So this is the Inika Mineral Blush in Peachy Keen. This is one of the little products that Emily very kindly gifted to me in her, as she was trying to declutter her makeup. So I'm going to pop this all over the lids and underneath as well. I'm going to take it on quite a fluffy brush. This is one from Iconic London, and make sure I tap it off. And just go ahead and buff this all over the lid. Just going to keep building up that colour. Quite tempted, I know I've put that cream highlighter blusher on my cheeks, but I'm quite tempted to put this on as well, just to really tie it all together. I'm just going to take a slightly flatter brush. I think this is just one from Superdrug again, Kiko. Pick up some more of that blush and actually just pack it a bit more on the very lid section, just to get a bit more pigment there. I mean, it's kind of obviously going to dim down the pigment when I put the gloss over the top, but Just want to make sure you get that real impact now, so it's less diminished later. I'm going to add some gloss to the lids in a second, but I'm going to first of all go with the Neve Cosmetics Pastello eyeliner in Rose, which is a nice pearly rosy colour, and this is going to go right into the inner portion of the eye. I'm going to drag it a little bit down here as well. And I'm going to take some of the MUA eyeliner in Snow White on into the waterline. I'm also going to pop it into the tight line as well and try and rub it against the lashes, because I'm not going to be adding mascara for this look. So it's going to be a no mascara look. I'm actually going to take a bit more of that Pearl Neve Cosmetics one and actually just run this a little bit as well into the waterline. I think I would have preferred actually a nude, I think, for this waterline, but I think if I mix these two together. So now I'm going to add some gloss to the lips, some lids, so I'm going to add the luminizer again, just using that top shade. I'm just going to do it on my finger. I'm just going to very carefully pack this over. Actually, you know what? I don't like that. It's kind of taken away some of that pink. Actually, I've changed my mind. I'm actually going to take a lip oil and pop it on my lids. So I'm going to take the Barry lip oil instead. This is actually not a transparent one, but it shouldn't come out too... It won't come out really pink on the lids, and actually, yeah, that I think it worked a bit better than the luminizer. So I'm going to pat this on. Yeah, I think this is better for the kind of glossy effect that I'm after. Like I said, it does kind of like soften out that colour underneath, which is why I really kind of packed it on in the first place. Like that, and it feels a lot less sticky on the eyes because it's an oil, not a luminizer. It feels sticky. Sometimes I've used lip gloss as well, but they can be a bit sticky. This, because it's an oil, it feels slightly more comfortable and has given much more of that kind of glossy effect as well. I'm going to leave the eyes for now. So I think I am going to add a little bit of that Inika blusher just to my actual cheeks, but a very small amount. I'm going to take what's in the lid because I really don't want much. I'm just going to stamp this on. I feel it's the way that I'm going to prevent from moving too much of the gloss. And I don't go too heavy either, so just a very light amount. So I'm going to move on to, we're going to take that lip liner, put it right in the centre of the lips. I'm then going to take the Kiko Smart Fusion lipstick in 401. It's a very nude colour. And just use that to slightly diffuse that colour out. But I still want to keep very pink in the very centre. And then maybe going with a little bit more of the pink liner actually, just to re-intensify that. Right in the centre. Then go over the lip oil, sorry. And again I'm going to pat this on as opposed to swiping. Okay, so that's the editorial portion done. Like I said, it was definitely a lot less dramatic than the previous one. I wanted to go for the really glossy eyed skin everything effect. I can understand why glossy eyes tend to be more for fashion based and magazine based, because the eyeshadow does break up slightly and it starts to crease and things like that, and maybe there are better things I could have popped over the top, but it is more for picture purposes I feel with this one as opposed to longevity, which is why I didn't bother setting my skin either, because I wanted that dewy glow, and also this isn't going to stay on my face long, it's more for kind of the video and picture purposes. So this is this video complete. I really hope you've enjoyed my kind of pink Valentine's themed wearable versus editorial look. So yeah, I had another request for this one to do more of a colourful based look, and so that will be the next one of this, but I will give it a bit more of a break in between the videos this time, do a few more different looks in between and things like that. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.